So we all know that James Bond's new movie, No Time to Die, is coming out this weekend. Now, the movie already came out overseas and it already made $100 million. And critics are saying this is one of the best James Bond movies that have ever come out. Daniel Craig, he did his best work in this movie and that it was a great send-off for Daniel Craig. For those of you guys who don't know who he is the star of the past 4 James Bond films. And his 4 James Bond films have come into critical acclaim, not only because of his acting and just the cinematography of the movies, but the very first movie that came out, I believe it was Skyfall, in theaters, it made over $1 billion. And of course that has to do with, there's been over at least 20 films that were already released before Daniel Craig even got to the franchise. But for somebody to pull in all that money, that was huge, and that's what kind of catapulted his career even further. And now his 5th movie is coming out. So a lot of people are speculating who will be the next person to take on the reins for James Bond. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about the shooting and how monumental James Bond has been over the past couple of years. So an article came out that said the last night of filming No Time to Die, a lot of the crew members stuck around near London. They stayed up until 1:30 a.m. to watch Daniel Craig wrap up his last scene as James Bond. They said the last scene was just him running down like a dark hallway to kind of give like a send-off to his character. And somebody on the set said it was a metaphor for Bond, the character, and for Daniel leaving. It was highly emotional for all of us. We all had either open tears or a lump in our throat or found our voices breaking. So I thought that was really sentimental that everybody on the set stayed to watch him film his last scene. Now, a lot of people think that Daniel Craig is a legend. So, the director for No Time Left to Die finished doing the film exactly 2 years ago. And the film picks up after Spectrum's 2015 movie. So Bond has left MI6 for an anonymous life in Jamaica, at least until his old friend, CIA agent Felix Leiter, arrives in need of help in tracking down a kidnapped scientist. The trail leads Bond on a collision course with both the women whose heart he broke, Madeline Swan, and a deadly new villain, which is Rami Malek. Now, a lot of people are saying that Craig is a legend, quoting, "Over the course of the last 5 films, we were able to explore the inner life of Bond, and I think he's done a remarkable job." And more audiences seem to agree as well, with Craig's first 4 Bond films were the 4 top grossing installments in franchise history at the North American box office. Although inflation should be considered when comparing them to the movies of Sean Connery and Roger Moore, because we all know that these movies have been around for decades, like 50 plus years. So of course, the movies that come out on the latter end might have, more, support behind it. So the James Bond movies would make $1 billion because more people know of the franchise, and it's actually a flourishing franchise as well. Now, not only does this 5th installment, No Time to Die, not only is this special because this is Daniel Craig's last movie, but it's also achieving a major milestone because they cast a British actress of color, Lashana Lynch, as the new 007. James Bond, he resonated from MI6, so they kind of replaced him with Lashana Lynch. And Lynch said that she was indoctrinated into the earlier Bond films by her dad, who was silenced and floored when she shared the news of her casting. And she also said that every single shot, every single scene that I shot is in the movie. She was telling NBC News, and I'm able to stand by my creation. They were able to respect my creation, and I'm able to talk about it in its fullness to the people that I care about, to young Black girls who are seeing themselves on screen, to young boys who are seeing the strength of a woman on screen. Now, when it comes to James Bond, we don't really see a lot of women who kind of pick up the mantle, or just, kind of spies that are out there that are doing similar things to James Bond. So this was definitely an achievement for the franchise. And also I want to say that we don't really know for sure, but it seems as if, since James Bond, he left his position, they needed to fill that position. So, Lashana's new character, I think, isn't necessarily replacing James Bond, but she's filling that role, and that role is hers, and she says she made it into her own, and she even brought her dad to the No Time to Die premiere, and she said it was really emotional. So, Lynch's casting comes amid a broader push among many 007 fans for more diverse casting in the next installment, and some people have even said that it should be a person of color or a woman. So we all know that in 2014, Amy Pascal, she's one of the head people at Sony. She does a lot with Spider-Man. She said, in particular, Idris Elba should be the next James Bond. And somebody said it's not going to happen, but I would hope a black or brown person or a woman being 007 or being James Bond would be the start of a real new wave in cinema. That's what one of Amy Pascal's colleagues said. Now, Daniel Craig, he did weigh on this topic. He did weigh in during a Radio Times interview last month, and he said there should simply be better parts for women and actors of colors. Now, he did get some backlash based off of this response. Some people took it as, oh, he doesn't want a woman or he doesn't want a male of color to fill in, the role for James Bond. But some people took it as, well, he's right. There should be better parts for women and actors of color, because as of right now in this industry, there aren't a lot of characters, possibly none, that, kind of are similar to James Bond. Not just similar to him, but, a strong, witty, charismatic character, franchise that can last for years and years on end. There's not any roles or any characters that I can think of that is driven towards women or just, a diverse male perspective. NBC has also asked cinematography experts to weigh in on this debate. And a women and gender study expert professor from the University of Oklahoma said in an email, as a character, James Bond has a lineage and a legacy that is rooted in instances of sexism, misogyny, and colonialism. So for me, the question is whether we should be casting a woman in this particular role. This comes with, for the times now more than ever, women are asking for equality when it comes to work, when it comes to home, when it comes to everything. So of course, these topics are going to be brought up. But as for right now, a lot of the people who make the decisions on whether or not who's going to be the next James Bond, is it going to be a woman, is it going to be a man of color, a lot of them aren't really focusing on that decision now. They're just focusing on making sure that Daniel Craig gets all of his flowers, because for the past few years he's been carrying this franchise on his back. So comment your thoughts below. Do you think that Daniel Craig did a great job with the last 5 movies? Do you think No Time to Die is going to be a great success? Who do you think should be the next James Bond? Do you think it should be a woman? Or do you think that, the James Bond franchise should just open up more roles to women, so that they can, have powerful, smart, witty roles similar to James Bond? Or do you think that, James Bond has been played by a male for the past several years? It should just be a male. It's all up to you. I want to hear your thoughts. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe for some more Taylor Talks. Bye.